Hey everyone, it's me again. Before you become an adult and start investing, there's one person you must learn from, Warren Buffett, one of the richest and smartest investors in history. We see all these guys on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok getting rich quick, but I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. It's all pretty much BS. The way to get rich is slow, methodical, and a little boring. In this video, I'll show you how Warren Buffett invests and makes money, and how you can apply his strategies early in your life. Let's dive right in. Now you might be thinking, investing, isn't that for grown-ups? Nope. In fact, the earlier you start, the better. Take it from the Oracle of Omaha himself, Warren Buffett. This guy started investing when he was just 11 years old. Can you believe that? 11 years old? I bet he was still riding a bike and playing video games back then. But guess what? He bought his first stock, and he's been hooked ever since. Now you might be thinking, okay, but I don't have thousands of dollars lying around to invest. And you know what? That's totally fine. The point is, you don't need a ton of money to get started. Every little bit counts. Even if it's just a few bucks here and there, that's a few bucks more than you had yesterday. You see, the real magic of investing early is this little thing called compounding. It's like a snowball effect. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow, and the bigger that snowball gets. Warren Buffett himself has said, the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. And he's not just talking about education or learning a new skill, although those are super important too. He's also talking about investing in your financial future. Start learning about money now. Read books, watch videos like this one, wink, wink, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to make smart decisions with your money. Here's the thing about Warren Buffett. He doesn't see stocks as just these little pieces of paper that go up and down in value. He sees them for what they really are. Tiny pieces of real businesses. That's right, when you buy a stock, you're buying a small ownership stake in a company. You're becoming a part owner, even if it's just a teeny tiny part. So, how does Buffett decide which businesses to invest in? Well, he's got this whole philosophy about it, but it boils down to this. He looks for companies that are making money, have a solid track record, and are run by people he trusts. He's not interested in chasing the latest fads or jumping on bandwagons. He's in it for the long haul. One of his most famous investments is Coca-Cola. Back in 1988, he bought a massive chunk of the company. Now, you might be thinking, Coca-Cola? Really? That's so boring. But that's the point. Buffett saw a company that was already incredibly successful, with a product that people loved and a brand that was recognized worldwide. He knew that Coca-Cola wasn't going anywhere anytime soon, and he was right. Decades later, it's still one of his most valuable holdings. Buffett has this great quote, "It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price." And that's what he did with Coca-Cola. He found a fantastic company and bought it at a price that made sense. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Jolly Roger, there are all these new companies popping up all the time. What about those? And yeah, it's true, there are always going to be hot new stocks that everyone's talking about. But here's the thing. Most of them won't be around in 5 or 10 years, let alone 50. And the ones that do survive, well, they'll have to weather all sorts of storms along the way. So, here's my advice. Don't get caught up in the hype. Instead, focus on finding businesses that you understand, that have a proven track record, and that you believe in. Think long term. Remember, you're not just buying stocks, you're buying businesses. Chapter 3. In the age of instant gratification, patience isn't exactly a virtue that's celebrated. We want everything now, now, now. But when it comes to investing, patience is your best friend. And nobody embodies this more than Warren Buffett. This guy has made a career out of being patient. He's famous for holding on to his investments for years, sometimes even decades. He once said, "Our favorite holding period is forever." Think about that for a second. Forever. He's not in it for a quick buck. He's in it for the long game. And you know what? It's paid off big time. His biggest wins have come from letting his investments grow over time like a fine wine or a vintage car. Now I know what you're thinking, but Jolly Roger, what if the stock market crashes? What if my investments lose value? And yeah, that's a valid concern. The stock market is going to go up and it's going to go down. That's just the nature of the beast. But here's the thing. If you've invested in solid businesses like we talked about earlier, they'll weather the storm. They'll bounce back. It might take time, but they will. The key is to not panic and sell everything when the market takes a dip. Remember, you're in it for the long haul. As Warren Buffett once said, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So be patient, my friends. Don't let the ups and downs of the market rattle you. Chapter 4. Alright, let's talk about saving and reinvesting. This is where the real magic happens, folks. You see, Warren Buffett didn't get rich by spending all his money on fancy cars and mansions. Don't get me wrong, he enjoys the finer things in life, but he's always been incredibly frugal. He understands the power of saving and reinvesting. He's famous for saying, "Do not save what is left after spending. Instead, spend what is left after saving." In other words, make saving a priority. Before you even think about spending money, put some aside. It doesn't have to be a lot, especially when you're just starting out. Even a small amount saved consistently can add up over time. Now here's where the reinvesting part comes in. When you invest your money, and it starts to generate returns, whether it's dividends or interest or capital gains, don't just spend that money. Reinvest it. Put it back to work for you. This is how you create a snowball effect, where your money is making more money, and then that money is making even more money. It's like a beautiful money-making machine. Warren Buffett has been doing this his entire life. He started with a paper route when he was a kid, saving every penny he earned. He used that money to buy a pinball machine, which he then rented out to local businesses. He took the profits from the pinball machine and reinvested them, and so on and so forth. He was basically a mini mogul in the making. The lesson here is simple. Save first, spend later. And when you do invest, reinvest your earnings. Let your money work for you so you don't have to work as hard for your money. It's a simple concept, but it's incredibly powerful. Outro. So there you have it. Those are some of the key investing principles that have made Warren Buffett one of the wealthiest and most respected investors of all time. Let's do a quick recap just to make sure it's all sunk in. Start early, buy businesses, not stocks, be patient, and save and reinvest. It's that simple. If you understand these simple ideas before you turn 18, you'll be way ahead of most adults. Remember, investing isn't about getting rich quick. It's about building wealth slowly and steadily over time. It's about making smart decisions with your money and letting time work its magic. And who knows? If you follow these principles, maybe one day, you'll be mentioned in the same breath as the Oracle of Omaha himself. But most importantly, remember this: the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Those are words to live by, my friends. So get out there, start investing in yourself, and watch your financial future blossom. Until next time, keep hustling.